Hello, my name is Dennis. Lately, every time I hear the word awesome, I think of two words: Freedom Builders. For those of you who don't know what Freedom Builders is or what they do, they are a mission organization, and their whole goal is to reach out to those in need jointly with the family of God and experience the knowledge of our Lord Jesus Christ. Now, first I would like to go on thanking the Executive Director of Freedom Builders, Mr. Skip Brown, his staff, his donors, and also all the wonderful volunteers that make everything possible for them to fulfill their missions. And I would like to show you the handicap ramp that Freedom Builders and all the wonderful people associated with them built for my handicapped wife and myself. Now she can ride her wheelchair out of the house and back in the house safely and go to all her appointments and wherever she can go to enjoy some pleasure time. Also, look at the beautiful roof Freedom Builders went through our hearts, and we're still overwhelmed by everything. We thought it was enough to ramp, and then they go and do the beautiful roof for us. I'm telling you, we are overwhelmed, and there's no greater awesome organization than Freedom Builders. This was at Easter time that I had called, and I left a message because people were already on their way for Easter with the family at some other location. And I left a message about we needed a handicap ramp built. I didn't mention the roof at the time, and I thought nothing more about it. And and I thought I'd be called back. And I forgot about it, and it wasn't like 2 weeks later, here comes a Freedom Builders truck pulling into the driveway, and here comes two of their staff, Ben and Jeff, and they're measuring. There was still a little bit of snow on the ground, and they're measuring in front of the house, and I came to the door and wondered, wow, what is this? And then they introduced themselves, I introduced myself, and they says, we're measuring to build you a handicap ramp. You wouldn't mind if we built you one, would you? I was overwhelmed. I couldn't even answer them right away. And I said, oh my gosh, and I right away told my wife, and she started crying, and we needed it big time. And I said, well, do you know when you're going to do this? And they said, well, it's till the ground's still a little hard, maybe a couple more weeks or 10 days till the ground's up. The temperatures too are a little warmer. And they all showed up. They showed up, called and told us what day they're going to be there, and they all showed up with the volunteers.
Done a furnace, roof, completely drywalled one room, new kitchen floor, and new carpet in my whole trailer. I looked for help, just for a furnace, but I didn't look for anything else.
Mm-hmm. What was the first project that Freedom Builders did for you?
Furnace, I think.
Mm-hmm. What were you using before the furnace?
Space heaters.
So you were heating your home with a space heater?
Yep.
For how long? 5-6
years.
What was it like to finally get a furnace?
Awesome. It was very cool this winter with a furnace. It was.
How many people came over to put in the furnace?
That was during Missions Week, so there was a lot of people here. I would say 40 or more.
Were you expecting that many people?
No.
What did you think when you saw 40 volunteers come?
I was overwhelmed, but it was cool.
What do you suppose is the motivation for 40 people to come over and donate their time and talents for you?
I don't know, just to help other people.
Mm-hmm. How does that make you feel?
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, they did this floor. There was about 3 layers 4 layers of tile on here. You can see every single one.
Was it sagging? And
No, it wasn't.
it was solid.
Yep, and then new carpet right here and through the whole trailer. This room was completely drywalled and new ceiling. This ceiling was leaking. Water was like pouring down when it would rain. And so we redid this whole ceiling, and then here's the furnace. Freedom Builders means helping people get their lives back on track. Freedom Builders gave me my car. My car actually broke down like 3 weeks before Freedom Builders started helping me, and they knew that I didn't have a way around. My grandma was driving me, and Skip told me that someone donated a car to Freedom Builders, so he showed up at my house with it one day.
What's it like not having a car?
Very difficult to do anything. I mean, you have to rely on other people constantly.
Yeah.
Just looking for help.
Mm-hmm.
And calling on numbers. And there was a fire. I have roommates here. I have to take in tenants to live here, and one of them took off for the weekend, 2 days before Christmas, and another tenant came in and said the house is on fire. And that's what happened. TCPD, FD came over like fast and put it out in a hurry, and I was left with a mess. Like I said, I called around looking for help. Freedom Builders were suggested to me, and I called them. Really want to know, Mike? I was living here. I made this into a studio. I had my own business. Shooting videos, weddings, events, meetings, stuff like that. And I had it was a studio. And I had a wood stove out here and electricity. So I had a place to live, which was key. And if you really want to know, it was Easter weekend, and it was feeling really low, and watching the Ten Commandments, and man, I cried, I prayed, I cursed, I stomped around, I felt pretty bad that Easter Sunday. And that Monday, Freedom Builders called. And they came over and saw the work we've already done here. A friend of mine and I took everything out of there, out of the whole house. And we started stacking up stuff. The yard was a mess. It had contractor bags running up and down the lot. And they came by and just said, okay, we'll do it. And I started crying again. And that's, I don't know what to say. When I was at university, Michael, when I was at university, I was a history major. My first major was history. And you discuss grace. Come from God? Does it come from people? Does it come from God through people? I don't know where it comes from. I don't know what it is. But I received a bunch of grace. And Freedom Builders are, they just throw a lot of grace around, and they don't ask for anything in return, and they just show up. I've met so many wonderful people. I mean, people I would never meet any other way, and never think I have anything to do with or anything in common with. And I found out that what great people they were and how much fun we had. I mean, we had so much fun here. I mean, I've never been on a work site that just, my face hurt from it. It was just so much fun. Like I said, at that time, you know, when you're going through something like that, you find out who your friends are. And I found out I had a whole new set of friends. I mean, I had a bunch of new friends.
What do you
All
say?
I can say is just, I didn't know anything about grace. Other than what I read in university, that we discussed in class. I thought, well, that's a nice concept. But when you're showered with it, like I have been, from these people, that, wow, it just, now I know what it's about. And it changed my life. Now I'm a different person. That's all I can say. They just, not only they saved my butt here, but they changed me quite a bit. And I'm not talking about in any other way than spiritual.